just taking up space. I wear my confidence, so I feel the same, but you can't tell. I get it, you're on sugary weight, and see if you might meet the real me. Really don't know me.
No, you don't.
Alone but not lonely.
Sometimes it's hard to see.
If you don't know me, you should get to know me now.
Should get to know me.
Get to know me now.
Should get to know me.
Still making my case. You wonder if I just leave with no trace. I wear my crown, but you know I'm down. When you need me, I'll be around. I get it, you're on sugary weight, and see if you might meet the real me. If you know you, like I know me, we can be somewhere in the middle to figure it out. We get okay, but anyway, really don't know me, really don't know me. Who am I? If you don't know me, you should get to know me. You should get to know me. You should get to know me. You should get to know me now.
No, you don't. No, you don't know me.
Got my boots laced up, hat pulled low. We're rolling out, it's a country show. Friday night and the moon is high. Time to hit the town, let the good times fly. Raise your glass, let the music play. We're gonna dance until the break of day. Feel the rhythm, let your worries bust. We're here to kick up the dust. Kick up the dust, let it fly in the air. Spin those wheels, yeah, we're going somewhere. Raise your hands, let your worries go. We're living fast and we're loving the show. Kick up the dust. All blazing and the guitars wail. Living large on a country trail. Crank it up, let the good times roll. We're riding high, we're on a roll. Raise your glass, let the music play. We're gonna dance until the break of day. Feel the rhythm, let your worries bust. We're here to kick up the dust. Kick up the dust, let it fly in the air. Spin those wheels, yeah, we're going somewhere. Raise your hands, let your worries go. We're living fast and we're loving the show. Kick up the dust. Every road we're on, every mile we roam, we're making memories, we're right at home. Let's turn it up, let's live it loud. We're a rowdy, proud country crowd. Kick up the dust, let it fly in the air. Spin those wheels, yeah, we're going somewhere. Raise your hands, let your worries go. We're living fast and we're loving the show. Kick up the dust.
I'm alive, I'm unleashed, I'm on fire, no retreat. I'm in beast mode in a red zone, going big time. This is my show. Yeah, we grind all the time, yeah, we going up. Hustle, don't sleep, gotta keep it up. Putting in work, gotta get it. Beast energy, don't sleep, don't sweat it. So electric, never second. Knocking down walls like a legend. A legend, is you sweating? We on the way up, let's get it.
Big show tonight there, Kinsman.
Yes, always a big show. We raise the bar just a little bit higher every show.
You start off by
night.
bragging, right?
Yeah. Well, why not? Got to toot your own horn once.
You're gonna
in a
get to
while.
a plateau.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
gonna be a place where you're gonna be like, okay,
yeah,
well, that's it.
Sky's the limit. And then we go for the
Just
moon.
say April Fools and
All
you
right,
didn't mean
April Fools.
it.
You sent me that leaf meme today. Thanks for that.
You're welcome. So we also have an amazing, we have a double book show, okay?
Yeah, double bill
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah.
And again, first half of the show, we've got Rick Lemieux,
Yeah.
part of the Timmins Comedy Festival. In the second half, we've got Tracy from the Alzheimer Society talking Temiskaming to talk about their upcoming walk and
Tracy gets no last name, or if you're on a first name basis?
Stamp Bergeron.
There you go, Kinsman. And Adam Growe is going to be joining us shortly because he is one of the big acts coming here for the Timmins Comedy Festival.
Yeah, he's our headliner for the Saturday night.
Yeah,
and something different. That's what I'm excited about.
This is going to be neat.
It's going to be neat. It's a quiz show. It's kind of like the Cash Cab show,
based off his Cash Cab, but
on stage. Yeah,
gives you a chance to win your admission back. Again, $50 for a ticket for his night. Inexpensive.
Yeah,
when you think
and right
about
now, you guys announced it yesterday.
Yeah, we announced it on the show yesterday. We are giving a promo code KINZ and KLOMP lowercase timminscomedy.ca, and you'll save 20% off your ticket. So
and
get your ticket.
Tonight you can win 2 tickets to see Adam on our Wheel of Winning. So Ronnie's going to throw that in the comment section about the promo code there, Kinsman.
Yes,
and that's just a thanks to you guys.
Yeah,
getting the word out for the festival. Yeah, when you guys start doing that, I see the tickets start selling.
Yeah,
well,
so
you just said tickets. Tickets are starting to.
The tickets are going now as we go.
Well,
and it's going to go more and more really quick in the next.
Before Adam joins us, I should say this. So Paul Bellini will be on the show at a future date. He's coming here for the roast.
Yes.
Now they've asked me to be one of the comedians.
Yes.
Here, Kinsman.
Yeah. You're putting your material.
And I first of all asked Mark to write me my jokes, and Mark's like, "Oh, everyone go to bed early, and everyone make sure you eat your breakfast." I'm like, "You're killing me, Kinsman." So we didn't want that. So now I've asked Rick to write my jokes for me.
I gotta write my own. Right?
He's got to write his own.
Rick's gonna put some zingers in there.
Yeah. I was watching. Rick's been releasing shorts from your big comedy special, so I've been just writing. Now I'm Constable Klomp.
You just go up and
yeah. I'm Constable Klomp, and they told me not to go in the laneway, but that's my job.
That's like if I open Richard Stoodle, I know most of his acts.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like, oh, it'd be so funny to go up and just start doing all his bits.
Just do his
up
bits.
on stage. I got nothing. I got nothing.
Yeah, that's
all
right.
my material.
Yeah. So okay. So anyways, we have Adam's joining us now.
Yes, he is.
Looks like he's has a beautiful blue screen behind him there, Kinsman.
I like that. Yeah.
But Ronnie, you want to bring our guest on? There he is.
There's the man.
Blue screen. You got me? You got audio? Everything good?
We're all good, Adam. How are you?
Great to see you, gents.
I wanted to get things started. So Adam was gracious enough to do a video clip for our Christmas video. Like, what the heck did I do? So you said
through me, yeah.
And your voice, Adam, like Mark's a radio guy, so he's got a deep voice.
So is he. He started off with the radio bits.
That's my point, Kinsman. Yeah. I feel like I could fall asleep in Adam's arms with this voice.
Us radio guys, we've got the pipes, as they say.
Yeah, the oldie but a goodie, the great face for radio. It's timeless. Yeah, I'm back in radio right now. I'm working at a Toronto radio station, having a really good time, just kind of a moonlight side hustle. But I did start my career in radio many years, so I'm glad that you thought that the video I sent was. I was just trying to be in character. I was trying to get the Christmas spirit of things, and you're like, oh, that peanut butter sound. It's so distracting. How are we supposed to stay on message for, like, think of the less fortunate and the needy when we've got those pipes? But okay, fine. I didn't want to be distraction from the Christmas spirit of things. But radio is in your blood, right? If you once you've worked in it, it is.
It is.
It always stays with you. So.
And you always get that line. If you could get $1 for every time they said, hey, you should be using that voice in radio. You'd be a zillionaire by now.
Well, the economics of radio is not about zillionaires, but the economics of the Adam Growe Quiz Show is tens of dollars in your pocket if you come see my live show. That's
there you go.
That's right. And what a beautiful segue into the big night when you're coming here, part of the Timmins Comedy Festival on that Saturday night, April the 26th.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about the big quiz show and what people get to look forward to for the big night.
Well, first, can I start with what I'm looking forward to? I've been to Northern Ontario. I lived in Sudbury in my radio days for almost a year. And I've traveled and visited many parts of Northern Ontario, including the Sioux and Manitoulin Island. But I've never been to Timmins. You know, I've never been to Timmins. And so when Rick and I met a couple of years ago when we were doing some comedy together down in the Smoke, and he said, if I ever reached out to you about the Timmins Comedy Festival, would you come? I'm like, are you kidding me? I would love to come to Timmins. So it finally kind of came together. And the Adam Growe Quiz Show is something that I've been really, it's been such a joy to work on over the past, well, listen, first of all, if you're on this live stream right now and you're going, the Cash Cab, that's the Cash Cab guy? I just watched an episode and he looks like he's 12, but no, because listen, the show's in repeats. The first episode of Cash Cab we made was 2008, right? So it's been 17 years. And so I had been a headline stand-up comic before I even got the role of host of Cash Cab. And so as I continued to do clubs and theaters and corporate gigs with my comedy, more and more people, as they saw Cash Cab, were like, ask a trivia question. I'm like, okay, well, why resist any longer? So I kind of brought the two worlds together. And the quiz show it's not like playing Trivial Pursuit. You're not like watching people play Trivial Pursuit with me on stage. It's a very high energy, dynamic show. There's a little bit of my stand-up. There's some guest acts. Rick's going to be on the show. So it's a bit of a variety show, but it is a comedy show. And so I do some of my stand-up and then I look for volunteers from the crowd. So if you're coming to the show in Timmins, you're like, well, I don't want to be a part of this. It's no problem. Part of the experience is I've since introduced gamification, so you can play some trivia from the comfort of your own seat with your mobile phone. You don't have to download anything. You can get on the leaderboard. You can win some prizes. And then if you wanted to volunteer to be a part of the show, I'd bring you up on stage and I ask you questions where you might have to do some fun stuff. You might have to pose or dance or sing or do some fun stuff. You're rewarded for your trivia knowledge, but it's very engaging for the whole audience. So they're participating. They're looking forward to what the next category is. They get to vote on the category of trivia once the contestants come up on stage. And so I keep the whole audience engaged, and it's all about the comedy and it's all about fun. But people who also like trivia will be rewarded for knowing their stuff. So that's the two worlds that come together on the Adam Growe Quiz Show.
Yeah, I love how you're blending it together. I mean, I could probably keep you on here for 3 or 4 hours. We won't do that. But I obviously have a couple questions about Cash Cab itself. So origined out of the UK, right? The Office, it's sort of like The Office, right? The origin starts in the UK. There's the American version and then the Canadian. Do I have the timeline right?
Yeah, you do. And you're right. It's not uncommon for shows to, whether it be game shows or comedies or gritty police dramas, to start in Britain or the UK and then get repurposed. The Office is an example. You can think of a million game shows. So Cash Cab did start in London, England. And the production company that made it there only made one season in London before they franchised it. And in fact, there's been a Cash Cab in over 40 different countries around the world. Oh. And we're the second longest running. So I'm really proud of that. The American version did start about 4 seasons, about 3-4 years before I even heard of it, when I got the audition to be the host. And since then, we've made 9 seasons. And I think the Americans have made 14 seasons. And so in addition to being one of the second longest running version of Cash Cab internationally, which they've started to air in different countries, there was a time where you would never see more than your host country version of Cash Cab. So for a while, Canadians didn't see the American version or any other versions. And now, you know what it's like now. It's things are everywhere. And so one of the things that when we got the reboot, we made 8 seasons of Cash Cab, and it had been almost 10 years since we made new episodes, but they repeated it. Like they were just being repeated all over. So my brand of the host of Cash Cab was still alive and well, which is why, you know, the live quiz show is still makes sense after all these years. And then we got the reboot, and we did a version called Cash Cab Music, which is on Game TV in Canada, but it also was made at the same time for a station in the States called Access TV, which we don't get up here. So it's you know, cable subscription in the States, but it was the first time one of the Cash Cab franchises was made for two countries at once, not just repeated, but actually made for two different countries. So I've got that claim to fame, and Cash Cab Music was hilarious. I do a little music. I do a little bit of lip syncing and singing in my quiz show, but it's not, I started that before Cash Cab Music. But if you haven't seen Cash Cab Music, one of the new elements we added to the format, it's still me hosting in the streets of Toronto, and a lot of the elements are the same. But instead of the video bonus question, if you want to try to double your money, you get to do Cash Cab karaoke. Can you, I mean, you can imagine the bonkers moments we have with contestants on that. It's so much fun.
So what do you believe made the show so comforting? And, you know, even like the buzz around Timmins, which I'm sure you've heard thousands of times before, I still enjoy watching the reruns episode I've seen before.
Well, you're seeing them tonight. Yeah, Janice says she loves watching them.
So shows, once again, like The Office, and believe it to me, like shows like Cheaters that you see on syndication over and over, even more. I find like Cash Cab is like very nurturing and comforting. And it's something that obviously that's why they bring shows on syndication. Is that the Canadian formula that works? Because I know all the different country versions are slightly different.
Yeah.
But it's a very, like, it's a comforting, enjoyable show where you can just get away from your problems for a while. Was that sort of the intent, or that just amalgamated throughout the course of the show?
Well, right away, the format is very conducive to just being a good escape, you know, easy viewing. Another big winner of the Cash Cab format, like many game shows, it's called co-viewing. So I get so much fan mail, email, whatever, and feedback live in person that people are able to watch the show with their kids or with their parents who are in, you know, senior centers, or both. So multi-generational viewing and easy viewing, bringing families together, bringing couples together. You know, at the end of the day, that's a big factor. Trivia is another big accessible factor. You love, whether it be Jeopardy or any other game show or Cash Cab, you love to be able, I know that answer, I knew that before that. You know, like, you love to be able to have those bragging rights while you're yelling at the screen, which is why I love in my live show and in some of the digital work I do online, I've introduced gamification so you can actually prove that you know by playing on your mobile phone and getting on the leaderboard. But at the end of the day, I think one of the things that really is special about Cash Cab, and you don't need to overthink this or be like a television aficionado or a discerning viewer or a producer, you just know it instinctively when you're watching it. It's the real emotional quotient of when you, and this is the competitive advantage of why we think we've lasted this long. And I know the American version has lasted longer, but I've got a lot of American fans that just kind of like, they love the American version. Don't get me wrong. It's great, but there's something special about the Canadian version. And it's very, and I've said this long before this year or recent years, I think it's the Canadian contestants who are just fantastic. They're themselves. They're not trying to be anybody else other than they are. And I always give a little bit of a pep talk when I surprise people. You know, there's not a lot of time. I surprise them, I fool them, and I have like really just a couple of minutes before we actually leave the curb and start the game. I say, you don't have to pretend to be anything. You don't have to be like a contestant on Survivor and be anything other than your own personality. Let yourself be yourself. And when you're watching the show, you can't help but love them, because sometimes people are like little, you know, really, you know, introverted and kind of like awkward. And I love that. And then some people are just, whoa, let's go, buddy. They're like, it's a frat house in the cab. You just never know what you're going to get, right? And it's authentic. You can just tell. And it's the Canadian contestants that make Cash Cab Canada, even the one that's airing in the States, really unique and really special. And that's what I'm, you know, especially right now, really proud of.
And again, it's unscripted, so you know anything can happen. And a lot of people don't know you have to physically become a cab driver. There's no green screens. You're physically in a cab driving. downtown Toronto. You had to get a taxi license for this.
Yeah, I mean that's those are a couple of the main questions that people ask, both when they get surprised in the cab and when they meet me live in person. Is like, first of all, you really a cab driver? It's like, yeah, I had to do that, but I wasn't before, but I did have to do it. And then they're like, but the ceiling, that's fake, right? And that's totally real. And the new ceiling for Cash Cab Music, if you haven't seen it, it's like, you know, the technology we have these days from 2008 is craziness. And so people like, it's really quite an emotional moment when and it's been happening for quite a number of years because it's been on so long and we were making a lot of episodes. People in Cash Cab Music after so long had grown up watching the show with their parents or with their grandparents. And then when I'd surprise them with the new Cash Cab, with the ceiling, like literally people were crying. And it's a game show. It's a trivia game show. And I'm like, I love it. Let it all come up because like it's so fantastic that they're actually seeing the technology. And it is you know, $250,000 worth of it's a mobile television studio driving around the streets of Toronto. Aside from the one season we did in Vancouver. And I had to go get my license in Vancouver because in Canada, you can only have one provincial driver's license at a time. So when we decided to do one season in Vancouver, which is where I grew up, so it was like, yeah, let's go. It's going to be amazing. I had to surrender my Ontario driver's license, go to Vancouver, get a special class of BC driver's license, which was even tougher because they had, you know, like when you get your taxi license in Vancouver, you are taking the same test that you take if you are going to be a trucker or an ambulance driver or a school bus driver. So I had to learn a lot of stuff that was not relevant at all. And, you know, even when I'm driving the cab, whether it be in Vancouver and Toronto, like at the end of the day, once I surprise people and they go like, this is where we're going, it's, you know, they're no longer in a rush. I no longer really have to do my job as a taxi driver. I'm now doing my job as a host of a television show because they're like, take as much time as you want. I mean, like we're not in a rush to get from A to B. And so, and then when we came back, we only did one season in Vancouver. And then when I came back, I had to surrender my BC driver's license and do the whole thing again in Ontario. It was like,
he's the most certified licensed driver. But okay, I have one more Cash Cab question. Then we're going to get back to the point. You know, Adam's coming to Timmins for the first time. So I'm going to throw you a percentage number and you tell me that I'm right. And I'm going to say 20%. So 20% of the time, people would get in the cab and the production would start. They're like, hey, just drop me off at King West, man. Like, that would probably be the funny outtakes. Who knows that the production company wants that? But I assume most want to play, but you must have had circumstances where people get in and go, I got a meeting here in 10 minutes.
That's right.
Miserable.
Way less than 20%.
Oh, okay.
Way less. Like probably less than 5%. Not even, you know, because most of those people were in the first season when we were making the first season in the spring, summer of 2008. The show, remember, by geocaching, nobody had heard of Cash Cab. Nobody had seen it. Nobody had any sort of context of what it was. So we were making the show before it had aired in Canada at all, and they had not seen another international version of the show. So I'd surprise people in the cab, and you know what it's like. It's like, hey, how you doing? All right. And people get in, and all of a sudden, like, boom, the lights go off. They're like, what is going? And they're like, oh no, I'll see you on the other side, buddy. I'm not in you, whatever you're up to. And it's like very suspicious. And so I would need a couple of minutes to go, listen, it's legitimate. And nobody, like, you know, I was a headline comedian. I had Just for Laughs. I had a lot of television specials, but at the end of the day, it's not like I was a household face and name across the country. There was occasion when people said, are you that, you know, but rare. I'm just saying. And so I would just need a couple minutes to go, hey, look, it's legitimate. You can win some cash. It's probably going to be about 45 minutes. You know, if you do really well, blah, blah, blah. And I could talk, you know, 99% of the people who were protesting into doing it. They're like, really? Like, what? And at the time it was being made for Discovery Channel exclusively. Bell Media eventually put it on comedy and CTV. Cash Cab was on Space. I don't know if it still is, but I would get fan mail from people going, I love your show, but why are you on Space?
Right.
Unless you're going to be like Bruce Willis in The Fifth Element. What are you doing? And so I didn't care because it was wherever it was. And then on Game TV, which is not Bell Media. It's a completely different broadcaster. Game TV is obviously, it could be whatever. That's why we Cash Cab Music. We could do Cash Cab Sports, whatever you want. Game TV is like anything goes. And so in the first season, there was a handful of people that just said, you know, I get it. I believe you, but I don't want to do it. And then after that, it was so rare. It was usually, you know, I can think of like literally like a handful of, there was a lot of people alone. Like if someone was alone and we decided to actually pull over and pick up a solo person, because legitimately, if someone hails me, I do have to technically by law pull over.
Yeah.
And so I would pull over, and if it was somebody by themselves, I'd go like, I don't know, I love the show, but I feel like I would rather do this with a bunch of people. And some of the people, if you've seen the show, you know, there were some solos that made it to the final edit. I'd say I'd convince them by saying, yeah, but you know, you're alone. You and I will have fun, and you get all the money.
Yeah,
right. You don't have to split this with anybody, aside from my tip. No, I don't get it. And so they would once in a while do that. And then there was one time I remember there was a couple of young women, probably in their early 20s. They had just come out of a concert and they knew the show. They loved it. But one of them had left their phone at the venue, and forget being on a iconic Canadian game show. They needed to get their phone back. And so, you know, what I do in those situations is I give them a cab chit and we call them another cab and we send them on their way instead of me taking them. Right. So they get a free cab ride, but I'm not taking my time up to, like, they're fine with it because that's legit. I wait for the cab to arrive and off they go.
Wow.
Rick, I could see why you want to bring, you know, Adam to Timmins.
Yeah, well, and I was
This is
saying,
perfect.
Adam was saying that the contestants are authentic. Reason it's a success as well is you're authentic. Like I don't know you very well, but we've spoken a couple of times, and I got to meet you a couple of years ago. You're you, like you're authentic. When you're on the show and then I'm talking to you online or we're talking on the phone, it's you. That's what makes it successful, I think, as well, because people could tell that's really you, and your humor and all that comes out. So that's a big reason why it's a big success as well. It's not just the contestants. I think it's you as well. I know you're not going to say that, but it is.
Well, you know, I really appreciate that, you know, and it's rare in this business when you actually get a show that is, you know, unless you're a comedian and they build a sitcom around you like Corner Gas or Son of a Critch or whatever, to get a show that is someone else's IP, someone else's intellectual property, someone else's idea, and then you're just trying to bring your best to the show. When we were making the first season of the show, I'd say there were about 3 different versions of the show, and you might even see repeats and kind of go, that one was a little bit like not consistent. In the first season, when we were trying to go, well, what is this show all about? We tried kind of like, really, like the producers were like, I don't know, try like being like a gruff cabbie, you know, like who's not my personality. So people would get in, I'm like, hey, how you doing? Where do you want to go? To try to get a surprise out of them, right? And it would be a great show, and I'd host the show. And then, and they said, just don't be anything. Don't try to be a character. Just be neutral. Just be hosty host, which I do a lot. You know, I'm very much just hosty host at a corporate gala or whatever. Just keep the agenda moving forward. And then one of the biggest compliments of my professional life, and I've been doing this for over 30 years, and Cash Cab's absolutely the biggest part of it, but I've done a lot of other little walk-on shows and blah, blah, blah. I've been around enough. One of the biggest moments for me professionally was when one of the executive producers for Bell Media at Discovery, when we're looking at it's called the dailies, you know, when you see the edit and when you see, you know, when they're putting the pieces of the show together before it gets cut for broadcast. His name was Bruce Glosson. He doesn't work for Bell anymore, but he was a senior EP, executive producer. And he said to the producer that I was working with directly for the production company and the director, they said, you know what works best on the show? Because you know, when we're making the show, the cameras are always running. So they see everything. There's 8 or 9 cameras running all the time, and then it's edited, right? And so there's times where I'm hosting the show and then we stop in traffic, or, you know, I'm letting them out and I'm talking to them and I'm just joking around with them. The biggest compliment was, he said, you know what works best on the show is when Adam's just being Adam.
Yeah.
Right. And at the time it was being made for Discovery. So we were, you know, being very conscientious about the Discovery brand, which we should be, because it was about science and technology and whatever. And we just don't want to trample on the fans of Discovery. I mean, since then it's airing all over the place, so it's not a Discovery brand anymore. It's for Game TV now, for instance. But at the time, we were very conscientious about not coming across as too, goofy. I'm kind of silly. Like, I'm kind of a goofy guy. But I'm also I do think about important things, and so it wasn't completely off brand, but they, in the first season, gave me permission to host the show as myself instead of trying to be something that I'm not. And that's when it just really sinked in, because my personality is not, even as a stand-up, is not always about, I need to be the center of attention. I love the idea of bringing the pieces of a show together. So there's a lot of different elements of Cash Cab. There's the mobile shout out, the street shout out, there's the game show questions, there's the money, there's driving, there's whatever. But I do not mind, even as a stand-up comedian, letting the contestants be the stars and then just listening and getting feedback from them on what I can work with. And if I come up with something funny based on something that they say, they love it, I love it, the audience loves it, boom, you're off and running. And that's what really breathed into the show, and why I hope we make more. And it's, back to point, like you said, that's what the Adam Growe Quiz Show is like. When you come to the show, we're in it together. I'm not trying to make fun of anybody. I'm having fun with you. If you end up coming up on stage and saying something absurd, I'm going to go with it. I'm going to, it's going to happen, and it's not like an adult show. It's not like risque or anything like that, but I'm also not trying to cramp anybody's style. I'm not trying to, if your personality is a little bit, on the edge, I'll run with that too. That's not what I'm looking for. That's not my brand, but it's not like you're going to be, silenced or anything like that. If you're a little bit, blue, if they say, and that's what makes the show. You don't know what you're going to get. And, in addition to Timmins, I've got and I will credit Rick for this. I've got, Sudbury the next night. And then I did decide to do a Newfoundland tour later in May as a result of Rick reaching out to me and saying, hey, I know that, Timmins might not be on your radar typically these days. And I'm like, well, that's not actually completely true. But you're right. This moment in time, and because of Rick's passion for Timmins and the comedy festival, and having met him, I was very receptive to the idea. And then with all that's brewing in the world, I was like, I absolutely have to get back to Northern Ontario, but also to Timmins for the first time. And I've only been, I don't know if you've ever been to Newfoundland, but I've only been to Newfoundland as a Canadian twice in my life. So coincidentally, Rick kind of got it started. And when someone else, a booker out there, reached out to me and said, for May, would you come out here? I'm like, yeah, it was like, yes, I'm on board. Rick got me going. Rick got this going. I don't know where it's going to end up. Because I'm either doing online digital stuff, or I'm doing corporate stuff, or, mostly private shows, non-public, not ticketed. But I will give Rick the credit. He got this fire in my belly going.
Way to be, Rick.
Man.
Hey, appreciate that. Now, I wonder if Adam's going to be mad when he comes here and realizes we're hosting Cash Snow Machine.
Yeah.
Dog sled.
Yeah, we're gonna get some copyright. We better strip down
one
the
of the
poster.
comments. Get ready for the snow. Get your snow boots there, Adam. Lots
right.
up here.
Yeah,
that's I know this is brass tacks, but I was actually planning to get my snow tires taken off my car. Should I not do that?
You do not do that yet.
That's right.
No.
Oh my gosh!
Okay. Snowstorm yesterday.
Yeah. I know it's nice and balmy down in Toronto. Well, maybe not. You guys got ice down that way too, but we still got tons of snow up here.
All right, I'll check in closer to the date, but.
All right. Well, thank you. We appreciate this. We're super excited for you for your first visit.
Yeah.
Good job, Rick, bringing Adam here. This is going to be a big night.
It's going to be a big night.
Fun. Yeah.
Again, Karen was asking what day he is, and it's Saturday the 26th.
Yep.
8 p.m. And again, tickets are on sale now. 20% if you use the promo code KINZ and KLOMP in lowercase. 20% off your tickets. TimminsComedy.ca.
And we're giving away
a pair
today.
Adam's show.
There we go.
Yeah.
KINZ and KLOMP. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Just
well,
before I leave, what's your vibe? What is that all about? I mean, I see the Senator's jersey. I
Yeah,
should have
yeah.
wore some
You
colors.
cheer for the Sens,
Yeah, yeah,
I cheer
yeah,
for
yeah.
the Leafs.
So this is KINZ. I'm happy as long as you got my name right. Then I'm very
Oh,
satisfied.
KINZ and KLOMP. Sorry,
Yeah,
KINZ and
don't
KLOMP. I
worry.
apologize.
My name was bang on, so I'm not worried about it. This is what we do for a full-time living. We do these shows 4 times a week, and we're out in the community working with partners like Rick to promote great community events. And once in a while, we try and tell a couple jokes and get a few laughs.
A few.
Yeah,
A few.
Yeah, a few.
He wants me to write material for him.
Yeah, please. But now I have Adam's email. Maybe I'll get Adam to write me a
throw him
couple.
some zinger. He's doing the Paul Bellini roast.
Yeah,
on
that's
the
right.
24th.
Oh, okay,
A little
cool.
worried there.
I was actually just in Newfoundland last year to do some shows. So if you're looking for an opening act, I know my way around there. You let me know. I'll audition for you when you're in Timmins.
Yeah.
All right.
Don't feel.
You got complimented. Now you're doing some self.
Now I'm going to promote myself. Yeah, you got to do
Rick's
it.
going to be
I'm
on
good
tour.
in
It's going to
May.
be the Rick and Adam tour.
Yeah.
Newfoundland.
Well, there we are. Look forward to seeing you down here, Adam.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it too. I can't wait to get up there. And the show is just a really great vibe, a lot of fun. If you're kind of on the fence about coming out because you're worried about, being in the spotlight, absolutely you don't have to. You can really enjoy and participate and drive the direction of the show from the comfort of your own seat without getting on stage. It's not like that at all. And then after the show, usually I've got a little bit of extra cash from the budget, rapid fire questions for a couple of bucks, selfie picture with me after the show. Why not? It's so much fun.
Yeah.
We actually have Timmins Taxi as one of our sponsors, and they want to know if you could take a picture in their taxi at the end of the night.
Of course.
I always get nervous when I get in the cab. Like, I'm just like, what's going to happen in here?
I might have to be relicensed for Ontario again.
That's
now.
it.
We got our own
Timmins license.
Yeah, the Timmins license. All right. Well, thanks so much for your time. We appreciate you, and we'll see you soon, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in a few weeks.
See you soon. Thanks,
All
Jake.
right. Take
Bye
care.
now.
See you, Adam.
Bye.
Wow,
All
that's
right.
awesome.
It's great job, Rick.
Thank you. Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of
gonna
fun.
big night. Yeah.
Timmins
And
Comedy Festival.
You see a lot of the comments tonight. People either grew up with the show or watched the show, and it really is
Loving the
just
reruns.
it's a break from reality. It's only a few shows in my mind can do that, and
Yeah.
Cash Cab was
It
one of
is,
them.
Cash Cab, Littlest Hobo.
Okay, well, settle down.
That takes
How old
way-
are you?
that takes
Mark-
you way
Mark
back.
was 26 when Littlest Hobo ended, so I know. Listen,
Yeah.
well, you were on a good roll, Kinsman. Now
Oh,
you're
come on.
falling
Littlest
apart.
Hobo, you got Mr. Dress Up, you got
Well,
Adam
Mr.
Growe
Dress-
and Cash Cab.
This is gonna be good. This is gonna
Yeah,
be
it's gonna be
different
a
for the
fun
Timmins
night.
Comedy
It
Festival.
will.
We haven't had something like this,
Yeah.
so it's a different night. So that's why I'm looking forward to it.
Right,
Something different for the festival.
And again, tickets are $50. Now, if you use the promo code KINZ and KLOMP,
Don't you mean
lowercase
Cleanse and
20
Klomp?
KINZ and KLOMP? Yeah, well, hey.
Ronnie's been posting
No
it.
matter
there,
how
Kinsman.
you type it, we'll type it properly in there in lowercase KINZ and KLOMP. You'll save 20% off of the show tickets
Yeah.
at TimminsComedy.ca. And again, 20% off the Adam Growe ticket. His is $50.
Just for this week.
Okay.
For this week.
That's the
week
promo code for
Is the
this week.
promo
Yeah.
So
code
get
for
on
this
it.
week.
So we have 2 tickets to give away at the end of the show, but we're going to take a break. We're coming back. We have another amazing guest here.
Yes, Tracy.
Yeah.
From the Alzheimer
What-
Society.
one name again, right?
Temiskaming. Yes. Tracy Koskamp Bergeron
Yeah.
from the Alzheimer Society Cochrane.
All right. Ronnie, roll
Joining
it.
us.
Seal the deal with Albert Seal and Katrina McKinnis at Royal LePage, your Northern Realty leaders. 44 Kent Avenue is for sale for $174,900. To book a showing, call Katrina or Albert today, 705-465-3493. And the Easter Bunny hops to Timmins Square this weekend. The Bunny arrives Friday between 3 and 7, and something new this year is Bunny Cares. Happens this Sunday, April 6th. It's a sensory-friendly environment for children and their families, plus a pet party for pets and baby's first pics with the bunny. Follow the Bunny schedule and more at TimminsSquare.com. And it's the grand opening of Timmins' newest apparel and clothing store. Mimi's New and Used is now open for you in downtown Timmins at 42 Pine Street South. Watch our pages this week for the grand opening celebrations. Where do you go for insurance in the North? PAIB Insurance Inc. We are real people dealing with real people, locally owned and operated. 101 Pine Street South. Give us a call today, toll free, 1-844-360-5300. Need an oil change? Then book one today at Canada's Garage, Canadian Tire Timmins. Improve engine performance, extend engine longevity, and help achieve peak gas mileage. Call today, 705-268-8591. Do you have a celebration coming up? Then book an ultimate pizza party package today at Midtown Bowl. Up to 6 bowlers, which includes 1 pizza, 1 jug of juice or pop, 6 $10 Fun Zone game cards, and shoe rental for only $139.99. Also inquire about booking a Friday night Rockin' Bowl at Midtown Bowl, 705-267-3500. Hungry? Then try a Sparks Pizza today. Order a 16-inch pepperoni, a 12-inch margarita, or design your own. The options are endless, and it's the best pizza outside of Naples, Italy. Sparks Pizza, dine in today, 206 3rd Avenue in your downtown, or order online at sparkspizza.ca. The big weekend is almost here. Timmins Con 2025 is coming up April 12th and 13th at the MAC, featuring comic book artist Andrew Thomas, the cast of Spy X Family, Carve screenwriter Cheryl Meyer, Trisha Helfer, and Brampton's Batman, and more. To get your geek on, you can check out online northernontarioexpo.com. All eyes will be on the MAC the week of June 4th and 5th at the Canadian Mining Expo, where the world comes to explore. For more details, visit CanadianMiningExpo.com. And still time to get a ticket for Timmins Comedy Festival. The fun week happens April 24th through 26th, beginning with the roast of Paul Bellini at Full Beard Brewing on the 24th, dinner and some laughs at the Dante Club with Dave Maherge on the 25th, and a double bill on the 26th, beginning with a free show courtesy of Dare Timmins with Magic Mel. Happens at Timmins High at 2 p.m. for the kids, and later that night, win cash with Cash Cab's Adam Growe. Tickets are on sale now at timminscomedy.ca. When you think home renos, you think J&R Custom Cabinets. They are your one-stop shop here in the city. Design, build, enjoy. Also inquire about no payments for 3, 6, or 12 months OAC. J&R Custom Cabinets, located at 1150 Riverside Drive. Call for a quote today, 705-264-9692. Going to college in the fall? Enroll today with Northern College. With over 75 programs to choose from, your future career is waiting for you. In fact, stop by for their open house this Saturday at the Timmins and their Haleybury campuses. For more details or to book a school tour, you can visit northerncollege.ca. Lucian Transportation is hiring bus drivers in Cochrane. Know anybody who wants to be a driver? Drop off their resumes April the 8th from 10 a.m. to 2 at the CDSB Employment Services Office in Cochrane, 149 5th Avenue. Drivers get a $2,000 sign-on bonus, and it's paid training. For more details, you can contact Lucian today, 705-360-4090. 1180 Government Road South is now sold with Jessica Gervais and Nathan Boulay from Royal LePage, your Northern Realty leaders. Your house will be next. Let Jessica Gervais find your dream home today. 705-360-7000. Happy 90th anniversary to the Schumacher Lions Club, serving our community and giving back to our community since 1935. Summer camp registrations are still on at Camp Bickle, the finest co-ed camping facility in all of Northern Ontario. Register online now at campbickle.ca. When you need your packages moved and fast, who do you call? Robert Champagne, of course, at Timmins Courier Service. Locally owned and operated for over 45 years. Give Robert and his staff a call today, 705-266-4285. She's the producer of Sportsman Channel Canada and Just Hunt Inc. I'm Mandolin Mayhew. And so much happens in your downtown that you don't want to miss it. Follow the Downtown Timmins BIA online now for all their upcoming urban park markets and more at downtowntimmins.com. If your little one was born in 2021, then it's time to enroll for kindergarten this fall with the Northeastern Catholic District School Board. To book a school tour with St. Joseph's and Pope Francis, you can log on today, ncdsb.on.ca. It's a place where we all belong. Join the Jackpot Time Timmins new email list, and you'll be entered to win a trip for 2 to Las Vegas. Have Jackpot Time staff help you enroll in person, and you'll receive a $5 TapTix card free. Details at jackpottime.ca. Dare Timmins brings you Magic Mel April 26th at Timmins High. It's a free show for the kiddos at 2 p.m., and it's all part of the Timmins Comedy Festival. Now, you don't need to purchase tickets for this event, but you need to secure your seat Do so now at timminscomedy.ca. Slots available now for your April carpet cleans and strip and wax jobs today with DAP Cleaning Solutions. Residential commercial cleaning excellence guaranteed. Call for your free quote today, 705-465-3500. On the big screen at Imagine Cinemas this week, Death of a Unicorn, a Working Man, and Minecraft the Movie, which opens up Thursday night. For tickets and showtimes, log on to imaginecinemas.com. And follow Mel and Mel for all the details on the We Count Talk Show. Maybe you can be a part of episode number 4 next month. Email them today, info@theconnecthers.ca. And save the date, Sunday, April 13th, 6:30 p.m. We're going to be packing the Sportsplex for Little Elliot and Armitage, the charity hockey game between the professional firefighters and the doctors. It's going to be $10 to get in for admission, and we're going to raise as much money as we possibly can for 2 amazing families facing significant challenges here in this city. It's time to put a team in for the upcoming IG Wealth Management Walk for Alzheimer's with the Alzheimer's Society Cochrane-Temiskaming. Walks happen in Timmins, May 24th at the Mount Joy Pavilion, and also 2 walks on the 25th in Haileybury and in Kapuskasing. To register a team now, walkforalzheimer.ca. Get a ticket for Rock of the River with the Timmins Festival and Events Committee. Mark the weekend off, July 18th and 19th at Hollinger Park, featuring Friday night's Rock Night. Timmins' own Fail the Temp, Biff Naked, Pop Evil, and your headliners, the Headstones. And with Saturday night's Country Night, features Cochrane native Mitch Jean, North Bay's Corey Marks, and co-headliners Brett Kissel and Cooper Allen. Tickets are on sale now at rotr.ca. From the entire Iroquois Falls Store Management, Gina and Tom Nicolau, to the arena staff, to the amazing billet families and more, thank you for an amazing season. Collège Boreal is having an open house and you're invited. Come by their Timmins campus this Thursday night, 4 to 7, for escape rooms, draws, free dinner, live music, teachers on site, tours, and more. For more details, you can email info@timmins@collegeboreal.ca. And sign your little ones up now for the PMHA 3-on-3 hockey tournament. Happens the weekend of April 26th and 27th at the Barn. It's free for all who attend, but you must be a U9, U18 registered player to play. Visit the PMHA Facebook page for the link to sign up today.
We are at the Mount Joy Pavilion, a bit of a change of venue for the upcoming IG Wealth Management Walk for Alzheimer's. We've switched venues. And
we switched venues for the third
tell us
time.
Why.
So,
for the third time.
The third time.
It's the charm.
That's right. The third time's the charm. So we thought of a couple of things. We had the walk before at Gillies Lake, which is a beautiful location. It gives us a great natural loop, but it's not necessarily accessible. So then last year we thought, hey, why don't we go to Hollinger Park? It's accessible. We'd be more visible. There's a little bit of a loop there too. But of course, then we had, if anybody recalls, a huge torrential downpour of rain. Mm-hmm. It rained. Everybody got soaked. There was not nearly enough coverage at the little bit of a bandstand there. So then we were thinking, okay, where else could we have it? And voila, this beautiful pavilion
right
came to our mind.
Yeah, nice, nice new spot.
It is, and we were trying to make sure that we weren't going to compete with the farmers market because that's a really important thing for here. But lo and behold, our walk takes place before the farmers market opens, so it's a win-win.
The weekend before the farmers market.
Yes, yes.
Which is pretty good. And again, it's May 24th. And again, what are the times?
So people can come down. They can start to show up around 10 o'clock. The walk will start at 11, and we're not going to just stay here. But the nice thing, we have full coverage, so hopefully we're going to have some music. We'll have a few different activities to do. And then the trail that we'll actually take will loop over underneath the bridge and around by the Purchase Park. So it's going to be a nice little bit of a walk. But again, it's completely accessible for somebody who wants to bring their kids.
No one's crossing any busy highways.
Right. Nobody's crossing anything, and hopefully it'll be, I'm going to anticipate about 20, 25 degrees warmer than it is today.
Yeah,
there won't be any of the white
cool
stuff
today, but we're going to be in flip-flops and sandals, and hopefully teams will be here. It's nice to see not only the Mount Joy Pavilion, but there's other walks that have branched off for Haileybury and for Kapuskasing as well.
So this is, I think, our third year of hosting the walks in those 2 other locations as well. So Kapuskasing, we have a walk, and in Timiskaming area. So it was at Timiskaming Shores before. This year we've just moved it a little bit more down to Haileybury. We'll talk more about that after. There will be a little bit of a video clip showing you those locations. So all 3 walks for all 3 locations have moved locations this year. So we really need to get that information out to people. It's going to be a really great time, and it's always very moving. So we really hope that people come and take part. Bring your kids, bring your dogs, bring your loved ones. It's wheelchair accessible, all of our sites. And you know, again, we're hoping for sunny weather like we have today, but
so
much
sunshine,
much
just a few degrees warmer.
That's right. Well,
and of course,
a
teams.
few dozen.
We need some teams. What would be the ideal team count, or does it really matter? Obviously, donations. The more donations, the merrier for the Alzheimer's Society.
People can make a team. They can make their own shirts too. We had quite a few people last year that made their own team shirt, which is really cool for us to see. We will actually have branded walk shirts this year. So if you fundraise over $100, you'll get a shirt as while quantities last and sizes last. That shows the sponsors for this year on the back of the walk. And then if there's any left, they'll be for sale for a minimum donation of $20 on the day of, after all of the walkers have registered. But, you know, we really do love to see those teams come together and create the shirt. So if they're walking for their grandma or their aunt or whatever, they often have a photo of them, or it just brings that team camaraderie together. No minimum number of teams, but we would love to see
the more the merrier.
The more the merrier. And you can make a donation just towards the walk. So we're going to make sure you have all the links for all of the walks, all the locations, all the places that you can make your donation. So yeah, donate to the walk, donate to a team. If you know somebody, make a team. And also we're going to talk a little bit more in the live show about Kirkland Lake. So don't forget to ask me about that when we're live.
Yes, going to be a great show at Studio 67. And maybe for those out there watching now, how do they put a team in? Obviously, registrations are ongoing now. Let's sign a team up.
Open, so they can go to walkforalzheimers.ca and you can find the location. Again, we're going to make sure you have all of the links in the show notes. You can also go to our website, our Facebook website, and you can register there. But go sign up. If you are a previous walker, you will already have received an invitation to re-sign up, and we've had a few people already start to do that. It's not too soon. It's less than 8 weeks from when we're showing you this video that our walk's going to happen, and so it's just over 8 weeks from our recording, but under 8 weeks.
Will the snow melt? We're hoping it does.
In the next week. But yeah, it's not that much time really, and you know, get out there and start walking and practicing
and pledging. Maybe put out a challenge for those in the office place. Let's put a few donations together and start raising some bucks.
That's right. And all funds stay local. So that's the important. People they want to know, where does the money from the walk go? And it goes to support the programs that we offer, not just in Timmins, but right across our whole district. So from Hearst all the way down to basically Temagami, we serve. Sometimes we have people going to Chapleau and down to Kogama. So when you think of staff traveling, that right there, we spend about almost $60,000 a year just on travel for staff to get to do face-to-face service. And that's like really, really important with the people that we support and deal with. Older adults don't love technology. And so we try to meet them where they're at. But yeah, sign up. And if you have any questions, you can call our office or you can email us, and we're going to make sure you have all that stuff. So thanks for coming out, guys.
At the 101 Mall. Well, thank you for inviting us.
That's right.
And we're so proud to be a part of this year's walk again. The IG awesome. Wealth Management Walk for Alzheimer's in May 24th, and here.
Yep, 24th here, 25th
in Cap in Haileybury, Timiskaming Shores.
You got it. Awesome.
All right, so let's put a team in today, and let's get you walking for the IG Wealth Management Walk for Alzheimer's.
There we are.
We were in meme mode. In mime mode, we're doing mimes.
Just because Adam was on the show, that doesn't mean you can start
trying to throw my fingers now.
Your humor,
Rick wrote me.
Your humor wouldn't even be good in the Yellowstone prequel series of 1883. There, kids, but
I leave the comedy for you.
Aren't we? Oh, poor us. aren't we so fortunate to transition into another amazing guest
Another
here?
amazing guest,
Yeah.
double bill
Yeah.
tonight. Again, being joined by Tracy Bergeron from the Alzheimer Society Conference in Michigan.
That's right. Happy to be here.
Welcome back. And again, we were out hanging out at the Mount Joy Pavilion.
Yes, and that was after storm number 1. We've just had storm number 2, so it looks pretty similar to what it is outside.
It does.
It's all good.
And it's hard to believe, we're a month and a bit away from this year's walk.
Yes,
And
just
again,
under
time to
8
put
weeks.
those teams in.
Yes,
8
yes.
weeks to go.
So, but before we start, I wanted to say today is National Caregiver Day. And there are over 196,000 people in Ontario who are caregivers of a loved one with dementia. So a huge shout out to all of those care partners for, formal and informal. It's a big job. And, we just want to give you, kudos for all the work that you do. So thank you to the care partners.
Yeah, they are
Big
the
round of applause
heartbeats
to each and every one of them.
and amazing people. And thank God for groups and organizations like the Alzheimer Society who, supports individuals who need it, but also mostly important to me, supports the families.
Correct.
And I think it's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing.
So shout out to all the caregivers out
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
And
90,000 plus.
so
Yes.
there's a lot going on with the walks
There's a lot going on.
this year,
Mhm.
and you and Mark had the fortunate opportunity to chat a little bit about it,
Yeah.
where the walk's going to be this year in Timmins. There's walks going on in other communities,
Mhm.
and last year was a big year, but I think this might be the
This
biggest
might
one
be
yet,
the
Tracy.
big
biggest
year.
year
Yeah,
yet.
that's right.
And we're putting
Yeah.
in the request for sun and warm weather, not hot weather. So that's
We'll
been
see what happened
entered
when we
already.
talked about that at that interview
Yes,
there.
yes. No.
We said sun and flip-flops,
Yeah.
and look what Mother Nature dumped on
Yeah.
us.
So it's really an incredible walk because this walk doesn't only just happen in Timmins. It doesn't just happen in Ontario. It actually happens right across. Oh, is that me?
No, you're good.
Okay. Says change the battery. So anyway, happens right across the country. And that's really an amazing thing. We all come together. Our national sponsor is IG Wealth Management, and I'm repping the IG Wealth blue tonight
Yes,
because
there
I
you
wanted
go.
to
Now, can you buy those
acknowledge them.
shirts from you?
Not the
or-
blue. So the
Okay.
blue is specific to IG Wealth Management. White will be specific to the staff. And then we'll have a lighter blue color that people can either fundraise $100. So if you fundraise over $100 and what
You get a
quantities
shirt.
last, we get a shirt.
Okay.
Or you can buy them if there's some left over on the day of for a donation of $20.
Excellent.
So, and actually we have a platinum sponsor that's doing our shirts this year. So shout out to Daystar Stitching. They came in last minute and really just, hit it out of the park. Great community partners to have.
Yes,
And
they
so,
are.
your shirt will be branded with all of our sponsors on it this year. Again, before we get too much into the walk, I have to acknowledge the sponsors
Mhm.
because each year as we grow, we become more well known for the work that we do, not only hosting the walk, but really serving our community. And so for gold, we have Northern College, we have Pet Value, Alamos Gold, Ontario Power Corporation, Kia of Timmins, OK Tire, Kid Operations, and Lakeshore Gold Pan American Silver. And that's our gold sponsors. Silver, we have Norark, and for bronze, we have North Star Linen, Jiffy Lube, and Toffanello's. And that doesn't include all of the gift in kind gift cards and things that we've had too. So there will be a shout out to them a little bit later, but really just wanted to acknowledge them because without the sponsors, it costs us part of what we would use to deliver services in order to put on our walk. So it's really been amazing. Every day there's, another sponsor and another sponsor. So
That's awesome to hear.
My favorite thing about the walk is when I see people who either have like the sticker on their shirt
That's who
or a
they're walking
sign
for.
in representation of what you're walking for, and you get an opportunity to talk to community members, and there's a sense of caregivers bonding with caregivers and forming like a support group. And I think that's a very beautiful moment.
it is a
your walks,
beautiful
yeah.
moment. And that's really what we're all about as human beings, is community, right? So I've said that to you on the show before. It takes a village to raise a child, but it also takes a village to support somebody who's going through any sort of an illness, whether it's dementia or whether it's cancer. And so, in the photos that you can see on the different posters that we have, the groups of people that are together, they came out in the pouring rain last year, and they walked, and they didn't just stand and hide under a pavilion. Everybody got wet and everybody walked, and we had a great time. And so, talking to the families there, if you're coming and you're not caring for somebody, just ask them, hey, is there anything that I can do? Because that's really the biggest gift that you can give to the families.
Now, speaking about caring, you got to help Tracy out with their mic there, Kinsman.
What's the matter with my mic? Oh, man. I already
that's
tried
Mark.
it.
This is. I always give Mark the opportunity to be closest to the guests, but
I don't know what's happening.
Oh,
It keeps twisting.
Just keep.
How about I just hold it?
Here, Mark's going to teach technology live.
There we go.
Here you go.
There we go.
Okay.
There
Is that
you-
better?
Yeah, that's actually not a bad clip, Joe. You were watching. Were you watching YouTube videos?
How to clip?
YouTube tutorials.
Okay.
So the walk. Again, we're trying to do a new location this year for the Timmins Walk. We've separated the walk. So we've held the 3 walks last year, but we really wanted to bring everybody together for the one walk. We have an incredible team, and our team lives in the vast region that we have. They don't always get to be together. The walk is the thing that we celebrate all of the work that we do, and we celebrate our care partners. And so hosting our walk in Timmins on the 24th, the Saturday the 24th, we'll be able to have the full entire team there. They'll be able to be highlighted for the work that they do and celebrated for the work that they do, but also to be part of the bigger experience. And then on the Sunday, the 25th, we're going to divide and conquer and go to each section. So we'll go to Kapuskasing, we'll go down to Haileybury, and the team will be able to be part of the other communities. Not everybody gets to always go to the other communities. Myself and the other 2 team leads do, but that'll be special for us as a team. It'll be really team building. We're trying to add some different things to the Timmins Walk. So we're looking at possibly having some music, and we're looking at possibly having something that you can hang around and pet. So we're not going to give you all the details, but you should really come down and check it out. It's going to be a great time.
I love that you mentioned that music and have some fun. Even though, we are, we're bonding and networking with people who are going through some serious issues. And it reminded me of a time Patricia Ballantyne was here, and she was doing the Walk of Sorrow. In support of the residential school survivors. And one of the chiefs spoke. He says, we know we're dealing with very serious issues here, but don't forget to laugh and treat each other well. He says that is so important in the healing and support journey that sometimes we forget. And you can naturally expect when people are going through challenges, the first thing is on your mind isn't to laugh and joke around. He says that's so important. And I love that you bring that fun element to help support a very substantial cost. It's a good blend.
It's so important to laugh and have fun. We can't even stress that enough. That's how we should all be looking after ourselves. If you're stressed, how great do you feel after the biggest belly laugh that you've ever had? And it releases all of those great feel-good hormones that we need to have. It's interesting that they're doing a trivia night. So, when you talk about brain health and you talk about having fun and laughing, he's bringing all of those great things to the comedy festival. And so hopefully, we can go, and some of our team can go and enjoy that. I think that's fun is really important in everything that we do. So as a care partner, but also as just general public.
Yeah.
It's good.
Really looking forward to it.
Yeah,
It is
a great day and a great days because Timmins, Haileybury, Kapuskasing.
Yes, it's going to
just
be
keep growing.
And also we're going to do something else. Kirkland Lake has been a really huge supporter of the work that we do, and we want to meet them and walk where they are. So if people in Kirkland Lake are not able to get to the walk in Haileybury and they're not able to get to the walk in Timmins, we're going to go and join with people in that community. The date's not set yet, but if you are living in Kirkland Lake and you want to walk where you are, please reach out to the office, and we'll have some more information on that coming up too, because we've said before, we want to meet people where they're at, and they are in the smaller communities. And so this will be the first year that we're doing kind of a pilot like that. Walk where you are. It happened during COVID, so people could walk wherever they were when we didn't host our in-person walk. And so that's something that people can do as well. If you can't get to a walk, but you still are wanting to walk and wanting to support us, you can do that. If you run an organization or you run a retirement home and you want to have a walk in a box pack, we can send that out to you, and you can do your own little sort of walk. You can do a barbecue, and then we can also come and join you on that that day. There's lots of different ways people can join.
Partake.
Yep.
And to give back.
To give back.
And I see you have your amazing team members that are posting
Yeah, they're posting
they're
everything in the
links
thread there tonight.
Yeah. they're
on
great.
how to join. So there we go.
Yeah, I
Put a
can't
team
read
in.
any of the words up there. I don't
Yeah.
have those glasses on, so
Yeah.
Walkforalzheimer.ca.
It's all favorable for me and you, Tracy.
That's
Don't worry about it. I can read it all. KINZ, well,
Yeah.
his new nickname.
anytime someone says something mean about Mark, I get
Wow.
Roddy to edit it.
They call it.
Mark is grumpy. Mark, I should change it to Mark is nice there, Roddy. You said no. But you're getting a very positive feedback, and people, individuals recognize how much, the Alzheimer's team means to the communities that you serve.
Yeah, it's amazing. And we'll have a little bit of a video clip that we're going to show the other two locations. And, I said basically to the team, a couple of them here, hey, I want you to come on. They did an amazing job.
Yeah.
They're not like me where I can just sit and chit chat and everybody's a little more nervous. So, shout out to the three from Timmins who were amazing and just hopped on and they did a quick little blurb, and to Michelle from Kapuskasing. So I know you're super nervous, but she's fully bilingual, and I don't speak French. I can wear a French shirt, but I don't speak French. And so Kapuskasing is a really French community. And so I wanted to make sure that there was a bit in French. And so Michelle joined me so we can watch those. And then I don't know if there's any questions about particulars in there. But.
Well, let's first, so Ronnie will load up the videos. We'll come back, answer questions. Then we're going to get to the Wheel of Winning. Which one should we show first, Cap or Haileybury?
You can show Kapuskasing first.
All right, let's go to Kapuskasing.
I am here in Kapuskasing with Michelle. Michelle works in our day program in the CAP site, and we're here to show you where our walk is going to be this year for Kapuskasing. Our walk is going to be Sunday, May the 25th, so mark that on your calendars. We've held it at the school for the past couple of years, but we're moving it to the Riverside Park, and we'll have a covered pavilion. We can't wait to see you.
Salut tout le monde! Nous êtes ici pour vous montrer la destination de notre marche cette année 2025. Nous allons la faire mai le 25 2025. On a vraiment hâte de vous voir au Parc Riverside.
See you soon.
The awesome team from CAP.
Yep. Yeah. One of the people from Kapuskasing. And again, great job, Michelle. Thank you so much for being willing to do that. One of my favorite things to do is to help people grow a little bit outside of their comfort zone. And they all rise to the challenge. I mean, I can speak really easily, but it's great to see them stepping out of that just to do things. And an amazing team in Kapuskasing. So you'll get to meet them this year too, which I'm really excited for.
Good. And now, as Kinsman would say, we're going to Haileybury.
We're going to Haileybury. Timmins Shores.
Yeah.
Haileybury, here we come.
Haileybury.
So, Yvonne, you brought me here on this beautiful sunny day in March. What are we doing now?
This is the Haileybury Waterfront Pavilion. Is going to be the location of our walk for May 25th, 2025.
Awesome. It looks like a beautiful spot right on the water. Very good. We're very excited. So we're going to introduce you to the rest of the team down here. So I'm going to step out and Yvonne can talk, and then we will see you in May.
I'm Yvonne. I'm the Public Education and Awareness Coordinator for the Timiskaming area, and this will be the walk for the Timiskaming area. And we'll have some people joining us, and Kristen is one. So thanks, Kristen.
Hi, I'm Kristen. I am new to the Alzheimer Society. I am the First Link Care Navigator and Transitional Support Worker. This is my first walk this year on May 25th, so come on out and join me and have some fun and get a little workout in, and don't worry, no pressure. Everybody can walk at their own pace and just enjoy the day.
And I'm Dallas. I work for
Englehart and Kirkland Lake area, doing the same role as Kristen, First Link Care Navigator, Transitional Support. And we're just looking forward to bringing more awareness to our communities and getting you guys out here and actively involved. So we're excited to be here.
I'll be coming around shortly to bring some posters, ask if you will join us, and to advertise and bring awareness to our programs and services.
Awesome. Look at the view. It's going to be a beautiful day when it'll all be green and we'll have no more snow. See you in May.
So there we go. Everyone's
Haley Burry.
Haley Burry.
Yeah, represent.
It's beautiful. Like our region is really beautiful.
Yeah.
You have to admit, we get to see beautiful water and forests, and yeah, it's a beautiful spot we live in.
Some people take it for granted up here.
They do.
No.
Some people hate it.
Who hates
Some
it?
people love it.
It's all good.
And again, put a team in now.
Yep.
Walkforalzheimer.ca.
You got it.
And again, the link is up there in the comment thread. Put a team in, and donations. I know you want to raise as much as possible, humanly possible. What would be a dynamic goal for this year for all three?
Our goal would be 50,000 this year. Would be amazing. If we made more than that, that would be even better. The more that we make doing this sort of an event, the less that we need to do other little events. And we do receive a fair amount of immemorial donations. So if somebody passes away, then people will make that donation. But this is really a way to celebrate and make it a little more positive, the work that we do.
Okay.
If I seen Chris had a question. It was around the fact that if someone is you put Chris Costigan's, it was a direct question. If someone is suffering maybe from memory loss or dementia, now I may be paraphrasing.
Oh, there it is.
It's right there. So should a person with Alzheimer's and a hard time remembering things still be driving? So that's a very specific question,
It is
right?
a very specific question, and it's really a tricky thing. We would not be the ones that would answer that. The doctor would. But the thing about driving is it's an acquired skill that we've had, depending on how old you are, for decades. And we've talked in your show before about when you've driven from here to Sudbury and you're driving along and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm at the watershed already? How did I get to the watershed? Because it's a routine activity that your body has muscle memory for, and it just does what it needs to. The thing that would be tricky is, what is your reaction time like? Is it easy for you to get lost and disoriented? Turning down, like we see sometimes, turning down a skidoo trail and thinking that's actually a road. That's where it gets really dangerous. And, seeing your doctor would recommend that you would probably get tested. And or depending on if you actually have a full diagnosis of Alzheimer's disease, and yes, most likely the license would be removed. But again, we can help problem solve those kinds of conversations. And if you want to reach out to our office, pretty sure that the staff have put the number in. That's what we would recommend, reaching out to us and asking, how can we help you to get the information and go see your doctor? And sometimes there's creative solutions with, somebody just taking the keys and hopping in the car, and we can help, again, working on those sorts of things. Good question.
Yeah, very good question.
Okay. Before we get to the Wheel of Winning, which captures the magical moment of the evening, was there anything else that you wanted to mention? That
I have all my little notes here.
Yeah.
The one thing, so far online, I just did a check before we came. We've raised almost 2,400. So registration's just opened. I wasn't able to check and see the number of teams and things like that, but definitely get yourself registered, make your team, make your shirt if you want to do that, and really just think about coming for the day and having a fun day with your family. And we're grateful for everybody who's helped us and who's donated, for all the gift cards and things that are coming. So we will see you at the home show and the sportsman show, so you can pick up information about the walk there. And thanks.
Kinsman, you did the quiet clap. Our young
did the
all last week. He was doing the prayer emoji.
Someone clapping in there.
His kids showed him the prayer emoji. So all last week he was like, "So you're out of it now? It's gone. We're back to the."
We're back to
No. Why are you using week?
But isn't this the quiet clap?
Oh, don't show him that. Don't show him that. We're in trouble. Oh, now we got a week of this, Tracy. Thanks. You get to go home, right?
I do.
I'm stuck here.
Yeah, it's stuck. My God.
All right. What a beautiful group they are. So now it's time for the Wheel of Winning,
Wheel
brought
of
to you by
Winning,
Kinsman.
Yeah, PAIB Insurance Inc.
Yeah, that's right.
And we're giving away 2 tickets to the comedy show, TimminsComedy.ca, to see Adam Growe on the 26th.
All right, Ronnie, roll it.
The Wheel of Winning, brought to you by PAIB Insurance Inc. We are real people dealing with real people. Locally owned and operated in downtown Timmins, 101 Pine Street South. Call toll free 1-844-360-5300.
They're excited. All right, Ronnie, give us a rock and roll. Got 80 entries.
We're going to see Adam Growe.
Yeah. KINZ and KLOMP by the looks of it there. You and I are going there, kids.
Well, yeah, that's
Amanda
Dubenow.
There we go.
Congratulations, Amanda. We'll reach out to you. You can reach out to us, and we'll send the tickets. You've got the tickets.
He makes it so complicated, right? You reach out to you, we'll reach out to us, we'll do this. Amanda, send us your email. We'll email you the tickets.
See, that's why KLOMP would suck in radio. He's not to the point.
You think yours was to the point?
It is to the point.
You reach out to us, I reach out to you.
You gotta be exact. Why was I number 1 in the radio?
Ask Tracy.
I'm saying nothing. I want to come back here another day.
Who reaches out to who, Kinsman?
They reach out to us.
Okay. Anyway, we'll get the tickets in your hand. That's it.
Would make it. You would make it as a radio guy.
Thank God. I saw your paycheck when you were there. I don't want
you don't want to make it as a radio guy.
You're better off here, pal. Okay, that's it. Thanks, Tracy.
We're out of here.
Yeah.
Pumps around.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
I'm alive, I'm unleashed, I'm on fire, no retreat. I'm in beast mode, in a red zone, going big time. This is my show. Yeah, we grind all the time, yeah, we going up. Hustle, don't sleep, gotta keep it up. Putting in work, gotta get it. Beast energy, don't sleep, don't sweat it. So electric, never second. Knocking down walls like a legend. A legend, is you sweating? We on the way up, let's get it. I'm alive, I'm unleashed.
face. You wonder if you're just taking up space.